Okay, let me briefly talk about the integral. So the formal definition, as far as I know, the integral is this is basically means integrated from a to b for function for function f integrated from a to b. This means like summing all the small slit at the height of fx over the delta x, and sum all of those slit together. Then you ended up getting the area of this thing under this function. Of course, the area can be positive or negative. You know, it can go down will be negative, and also you integrate in the positive direction. This area will be positive. Go to the negative direction, the integrated area will be negative. If you integrate this way, and then so it all ended up being consistent. So FB minus FA means the F is pretty much, I mean, then Fx, the derivative of Fx is a small fx. So that's a way to calculate it. Basically, what's the derivative of Fx? The derivative of fx is this big fx is small fx, and then fx will be the one that you need to use for doing the integral. That's a conventional way. Let me give you two examples. One example is, for instance, a car going a constant velocity. So the function is it stays the same velocity as v, going from so it's from 0 to t. It's like what over this time how far it traveled. You can write it in terms of integral, because for a given time it moved that much. So you sum all those little areas together will end up become the distances traveled. So the area, the understanding of area will be, it's a rectangle, so it will be v, the height, dot t, the width. And also another understanding is big FB minus big FT minus big F0. Since we know that Vt, the derivative of Vt is V, then you could think, oh, then the big F will be Vt. So Vt at t equals 0, or t equals t, and t equals 0. So you got the answer. And let's make it a little bit more complicated. So we have a free fall, essentially. The distance traveled is the area of the triangle. So we know the height, because at the time t, the velocity will reach to gt, because this is the velocity. And the width is t, then we know will be gt height multiplied by the width t divided by 2, because it's a triangle, and then this is the area, and that will be the final answer, the distance traveled. Another method, doing the antiderivative, or do the integral, do the reverse derivative, I would say, the gt squared over 2, the derivative of that will be gt. Then we will have this here. And the general way of understanding it, The general way to solve it is basically as follows. Either do check the table. There's a check integral table. And they will have some. And do some tricks. Do some tricks. Which I might talk about the next video. The tricks being, actually I will talk about it in the next video. Yeah, so you can check the integral table because the reverse derivative is sometimes counterintuitive for beginners. And the tricks, there is a common form and can mapping back to the tricks. Yeah.